You have to be decisive. That's something about New Yorkers. They got to be ready to make a move. You got to be ready to make a move. The beginning of the month is the best time to look for apartments. Beginning of the month is when the inventory is its fullest. Regardless of when people start the lease, whether it's on the 1st or they start on the 17th or the 24th, their first month is usually prorated, so they pay whatever portion of the month that they move in. But the rent is always due at the 1st of the following month, and their leases always end at the last day of the month. That means that all the new vacant apartments hit the market on the 1st and 2nd and 3rd. So the inventory is at its fullest. What a lot of people don't realize, though, is they don't realize this. They go out to look at apartments at the beginning of the month. They see some nice apartments. But who's ready to commit when they're just getting started? So what happens? They go out the following weekend and they see more apartments. But they're generally not going to be as nice. I mean, for my clients, I'm not going to take you to some lousy places and keep the better places in my back pocket. No, I want to show you, I want to front load with the best places, so it's an easy decision. Okay? Of course, I usually like to show people 3, 4, 5 options together so they can come to that conclusion. But even then, if they're early on, right, they're going to, if it's too early, they're still going to want to see other options because they have the time. But what happens? You go out that second weekend, you're not looking at as nice places. So what do? You don't make a decision the second weekend because why would you? Right? So now you go out the third weekend and realize you're kind of looking at leftovers, and maybe you go back to the original places and they're gone because, this is a crazy New York City market. This is one of 7 or maybe 9 points on planet Earth where the demand is insane, right? People aren't flocking to rural Kentucky, okay? It's here, it's Paris, it's Rome, maybe 9 other places. That's about it. New York City is a high demand place. So if you go out the first weekend, that's really the best weekend to decide, but you have to be decisive. That's something about New Yorkers. They got to be ready to make a move. You got to be ready to make a move. Even if it's the 23rd, I may be convincing that person that they need to wait 10 days, or they're screwed and they got to take what's out there. It'll depend on the scenario. It's going to depend on the person. I like to think that I'm very authentic when I talk to people, so I'm going to say it just like that. But why not? Because that's very much the reality of how it works here, right? From time to time, we do get apartments that pop up here and there throughout the month, but I wouldn't count on that. I lived in an apartment for 1 year myself that I found 6 days before the end of the month and rented. We finally signed a lease 3 days before the end of the month. It was the lousiest place I've ever lived. I never experienced wild cats. Feral? I don't know, like cats that didn't have houses or something. In the alleyway between the buildings, I have never heard these noises come out of. I grew up with cats, right? I'd never heard these noises come from cats, and it was all night long. Right? It was a bad place, but I was screwed. I had to move out, right? And I had to settle. That was at the end of the month.
There to pass down. I'm a brokerage. We operate on. We don't sell sneakers out of the back of the office. We broker deals.
By the way, now's the time to like, subscribe, and follow if you want to see more stuff like this.